Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. On behalf of OTC Markets, we are very pleased you have joined us for our AI and Technology Conference. Our next presentation is from Wytec International. Please note you may submit questions for the presenter in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for a one-on-one meeting by clicking Book a Meeting in the top toolbar. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Bill Gray, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Wytec International, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol WYTC. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you. It's great to be on here. All right, thank you for attending this with me. I'm very excited about presenting what this company is all about. You can see the mission statement right there. Our goal and objective is to make this nation safer and smarter, utilizing the best of AI technology. So we're pretty excited about how we've gotten to where we are today and where we're headed from here. So this is the disclosure statement, safe harbor statement that typically comes on our screen, because we also solicit this to accredited investors and investor audience. It's a little different than what I do on how we present it, so I'll get the hang of it here in just a second here. So the world of artificial intelligence. Most of us hear something about AI just about every day on Fox News and almost all the news. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good. I like to believe that Wytec has grabbed a hold of this technology and built our own AI patented intellectual property on the good side, and that's to make this country safer and smarter. So we have now to date have created 7 patents in the AI platform. We're very excited about this. It's primarily in the area of smart sensor technology, where you're seeing a lot of the AI development occurring. We focused on just into the public safety area, where it involves gunshot detection, drug detection, and primarily for the educational field. So our product starts with a platform for in-building cellular. And in-building cellular is the ability to bring good cellular connection inside of a building. And so inside that building is where we begin to start looking at the other solutions that are connected to our in-building product. That's gunshot detection, drug detection, and education. Primarily in education area is what's called private LTE. So those are the focus in our product selection, our solutions today. So we're very experienced at building in-building cellular solutions. We just finished our 14th Whataburger Corporation, where we've done now 14 of them for Whataburger for the in-building cellular solution. We've done it with banks, UMB Bank in Kansas City. We've done it in the largest building in Dallas called the Fountain Place, 60-story building. Laredo Independent School District in Laredo, Texas. The Johnson Space Center, we've done several applications for the Johnson Space Center and for the UTSA Health Science. This is only a few of the number of installations we've done with in-building cellular. So this marketplace is very large and getting larger every day, because in-building wireless is such a key piece for bringing the types of sensor technology needed for gunshot, drug detection, fire. All of those are part of things that are connected to an in-building wireless market. So the product that we started with in 2019 was called the Quattro 4000C. This is a picture of that unit, and the reason I'm showing you this unit, this hardware unit, is that it has ports on the very top of it. And you'll see on the very last, to the right of that picture, a little nodule at the top of that, and that's a port. And so that port is what we begin to connect the gunshot detection piece to. And so we've now developed what is called the Harmony Gunshot Detection. We're in partnership with a company called Nextivity. So that the Cell-Fi unit here is built by Nextivity. We partner with them, and we brought the gunshot detection technology to them. So currently we are now looking at taking our AI patents and improving this on an ongoing basis. We're not finished. So we've just got it to the point now where we can bring it to the market. And from here going forward, we'll just keep improving the accuracy of our gunshot detection and adding additional sensors to it, like drug sensing, fire, all of those different other types of sensors. So you can see down at the very far left, you see 3 different small boxes. That represents the AI sensor antennas. And that's what we work on to build. Fortunately, what Wytec does is it focuses on the software solution. And we use API computing connections to be able to connect to any hardware device that exists today. So we're really more on the software side of this, and we've added the AI piece to it. Okay, so this is where I'm going. You're gonna see a video here of
gun violence is felt everywhere in America, from schools and places of worship to grocery stores and local businesses. Safety should never be a question, but in an instant, everything can change.
That's why Wytec developed a solution. A suite of real-time detection devices that identify gunshots the moment they occur and detect drugs before they spread. Here, the system's being tested with live rounds in a controlled indoor environment. Pistol and rifle fire simulate real threats. The AI listens, identifies the shot, and triggers an alert, all within seconds. Built on proven AI technology, it uses advanced acoustic sensors to identify gunfire and alert first responders instantly. This isn't just innovation, it's the frontline defense against gun violence. When lives are on the line, action has to be instant. Wytec, because every second counts.
Okay, so the importance of that video is that it was the first time that we were now able to call a product ready to go to market. And so that just occurred literally less than a month ago. So it's about the gunshot detection side of the market, and we're pretty excited because this is a pretty big marketplace. 4.5 billion 2025, moving to 9 billion by 2030. There's probably not a news cast that you can see that there's not some kind of gun violence going on. So it is at the top level of the audience out in the news world. So we're getting looked at by government, by a number of different entities that are needing some kind of gunshot detection technology, and we've gotten there. But the essence of the video is we now have a product to come to the market. So the other side of the coin, the drug side of this, is also now becoming quite an epidemic problem across the United States. It's getting worse and worse every day, and we're starting to hear more and more about what's happening in our school districts. So in this particular slide right here, you're seeing 1.63 million of our youth in schools now vape. What that represents is 1 in 7, 14% of high school students, 1 in 30, 3% of middle school students. And the issue is not just about vaping, it's not just the health hazard of it, it's also the educational side of it. It's dropping the educational levels, and we're seeing that across the entire United States. And in fact, the way it's affected the educational rankings, it's called PISA, Program for International Student Assessment. And so in this particular slide right here, we were able to look at how much has it really affected the United States since this has been detected. Well, it's affected it in lower GPA, lower attendance in pursuing college, academic performance, particularly in the area of math and science. So to date, by 2025 in these scores, United States was ranked 77 out of 80 countries. That's how bad it's hit us. So we partner with a company called Zeptiv for the vape detector. And this is a part of our total solution, as we looked at earlier, that connects into the in-building cellular. So when we bring the in-building cellular technology inside of a building, we connect the gunshot detection and the drug vaping detectors in the same solution, in the same building, as one solution. It's called an integrated solution. So the drug abuse, the drug detection market, 4.2 billion in 2024. You can see how it's rising. It's getting worse and worse, and it's not just in vaping. It's marijuana, THC. All of these now are drugs being tested with the technology that we have with Zeptiv. And so THC is pretty much, we're about ready to bring that to the market, but all of these will be connected into the AI software that we're developing. So it's a progressive advancement and just getting better and better as we start to go forward with this. All right, so now we got a product. And so how do we sell that product? Well, one of the first things you do is get on what's called bid boards. And in this case here, you're looking at 14 bid boards. The very first one we got on was TIPS. A bid board is where a school, a building, a government puts up an RFP, a request for proposal. And then they put that out to the people who are qualified or are able to be or listed on that board. Wytec is listed on all 14 of these boards. So we're now getting an influx of numbers of RFPs. And one of those RFPs that we participated in and we filled out an application was TX Share, where you see that orange box. And TX Share is a huge organization. So TechShare is an organization. It's a cooperative that consists of over 200 city governments, counties, transportation authorities, police stations, and school districts, and many more. So what happened was that TechShare went to North Central Texas Council of Governments and requested them to put them an RFP together. They put that RFP together and Wytec applied to it and won it. So we now have access to, and with the North Central Texas Council of Government, we have a master service agreement with them. So we've now got access to every one of these members of TXShare. So the other thing is not just being able to sell it to them, it's also the money. So how do they pay for it? In this case, in 2025, FEMA put together and approved $98 billion for public safety. And our product falls right underneath this. And so do all the members of TechShare and of those other bid boards. So not only do we get the contract, we now have the funding. Now funding in a government fund, if anybody knows much about it, it's a very tough nut to crack. It's a huge application process and it's not easy to get. So Wytec went out and partnered with another company called EMD. EMD, Elisa Mola, and she's been doing this now for about 20 years. She's become extremely good at funding success. She has a 90% success rate for public safety grants. So we were really lucky to get into this with her, and we're very excited about utilizing her skills and sets to not only apply and help these members of TXShare apply for the grants, but to have a large success rate in getting those fundings. So one of the things also that not only getting the customer, getting the funding for the customer, it's also how do you, you're going to need a number of people to handle something like 200 cities, counties, transportation authorities. It's got to be a pretty good sales force. One of the things we learned early on was that 70% of all telecom B2B sales are done through channel partner marketing or agents, sales agents. Approximately 300,000 of those that are out there globally combined represent 419 billion in managed services each year. So this is getting big. And so we're really excited because we're now have attracted the attention of several of these channel partner programs. So we're now looking to be able to implement that and execute that sales force because it's all commission oriented. So now we don't have the overhead of hiring all of these people. We pay them when they're successful. All right, so this takes us to where is Wytec going from here? Wytec has a lot of experience in this area, the investment banking area. A bit of my background, I came from the institutional banking market in fixed income. I worked for some of the largest ones out there. But it was fixed income. So when I went over to the equity side of the fence, I had to cut my teeth all over again, and it was a painful education. The first thing we did was I was able to attract E.F. Hutton for a firm underwriting, and we went through that process, and we took it all the way to the very last day in which we were supposed to list on NASDAQ on the scheduled date of February the 15th. Unfortunately, prior to that, there was the Ukraine-Russian war, and that really put a kink in things going forward. So we missed that step, and throughout that entire year, 80% of the IPOs scheduled withdrew, and we were one of them. So we learned a lot from there. One of the things that was told to me by NASDAQ, because they now know who I am, I've been across their table twice, they said, Bill, what you ought to do is go up the OTC rank. And before all of the latest news that came out, we went ahead and went down that trip, and we're now listed on OTC. Unbeknownst to many of the bankers and many of the others is that the rules have changed now for listing on NASDAQ or the NYSE, and that is they're stricter, except for OTC companies are exempt. So we are really in a sweet spot of being able to move up the ladder when it's the right time to do it. All right, so one of the things we're doing to introduce where we are, on September the 2nd, we have now, we're hosting a seminar in San Antonio, Texas at the San Antonio Intercontinental Riverwalk Hotel. One of those speakers is Elisa Mula with the federal grants, Noah Bagley that's going to present the product solution, that the in-building solution, and Dan Castro will introduce. Then the channel partners. We look to have a varied audience here. That audience will include TechShare members, channel agents, and our product, a demonstration of the product, and the video that you just saw will go to TechShare members. So our goal is to, and our objective is to allow face-to-face meetings between the buyer of the product, TechShare, and the seller, a channel agent, and they get to meet face-to-face, all in one setting. Also in that, our investors that are invited, our own shareholders, which we have now 1,600 shareholders, 200 that are accredited investors, but we're only inviting, we're set aside 25 seats for the top of our accredited investors who put in most of the money into the company. So it'll be then new invitations to new investor potential, and that would include also bankers, that would include family home offices, institutional investors, the marketplace that I came from. So it's going to be a host of people that would like to meet each other. A lot of times don't get to meet each other, but that's what we're going to be doing right there at this here. So I will give more information, and certainly those that respond to this presentation, an invitation to an application invitation to coming to this seminar. Okay, so that's it. Well, I have one more slide. Sorry about that. So also at that seminar is the term sheet. This is the term sheet of the offering. So we did announce, we've now announced a 9.5% convertible promissory note for $10 million. It converts automatically upon a NASDAQ or a NYSE listing. And in the NYSE listing, we're from Texas, so we were proud to hear that the New York Stock Exchange now has opened up an office in Dallas. It's called Texas NYSE. So that's a consideration as well. We're not in a giant hurry to go list on any one of those markets, because we know that you need to have other things in place first. And one of the key things you need to have is a good roadmap, a proof of concept of revenue. And so our revenue picture now is the one that we're focused on more than all the rest of them. We know that revenue will affect the share price. We know that it'll affect volume, trading volume. So all of those are now things we're grouping together, raising the initial capital to get us to the next step, and also would qualify as the stockholder equity. But again, even qualifying for that, if we were there today, and we have qualified for everything on NASDAQ or NYSE today, with the exception of the stockholder equity, this would do it. But we still would not try to go up that road till we've met the revenue and the volume. So that's our focus going forward from here. Okay, I'm now open for questions. I see several questions here, and one of them is, what are your major initiatives, milestones for the next 12 months? Great question, and that's what I just got through mentioning here. It's not only a major initiative, it's about a 90% focus. I'm very, very focused on generating revenues. I know how to do it. We finally got the contract that'll get us there. So when you're looking at cities and counties, transportation authorities, anyone, or even school districts, because we've done 3 school districts. A school district's worth about $1 million. And so we're now soliciting out to over 300 school districts and inviting them into this seminar so that they can meet trained sales agents that we've trained on the product, and they know what we're doing. So that whole focus right there is how to get these revenues moving up. I think the proof of concept will put us in the right position to look at the uplisting from there. So this is an uplisting effort at the right time. Okay, I hope that answered that. Are you providing revenue guidance for 25? So we've built DCF models. I could have introduced it right here. Most of your venture capitalists look at a DCF model, I think, for they do examine it very closely to kind of see where you're going with it. In our case, we have built one off of the patents that we have, and so we got about, in that case, $150 million valuation for one of the patents. I might add now that we have 4 more of those patents, and so that's one of the things that we are able to go from here. And so I hope that answers that one. Are you providing revenue guidance? That's the same as the other question. How successful are your 30-day no-cost trial been? Okay, so that's just now being offered. And so we just got the pilot test done less than 30 days ago. So the idea is to bring all of these school districts and the TechShare members to the seminar, show them what we've now accomplished in a pilot, and get it all in one shot. And then we'll introduce then the free pilot to them, and it'll be a certain number of them. And what our goal is we want to bring in the in-building cellular solution and give them the gunshot detection and the drug sensing technology connected to it. We're going to give those away as a 6-month trial basis for getting the in-building cellular. So the in-building cellular solution is the highest ticket item. We're still able to produce a 50% gross profit margin, even by giving those away, because they're a lesser cost and particularly plugged into the existing in-building cellular solution. So we're real excited about how we're going to be able to generate these revenues. How do I download the video? Okay, good question. And just so you know, we're going to provide that for you. So all you need to do is respond, and we will send you that video file along with invitation to the seminar and something we've already built and we're aggressively pursuing right now. Every one of these TechShare members, all the CTPA school, 200 plus schools, all of those are being invited now to this seminar to meet face-to-face with those that would actually represent, sell, knock on the door, and go visit them again. We know and understand that sales are generated after you typically, particularly in this big ticket item, only after you meet face-to-face. So we're shortcutting that process by inviting them to the seminar. Okay, I think that's the last question. Okay. Okay, so I do have one other. What are the actual revenues as of now? Wytec had actually been at $1 million, and they did $1 million in a year. We're now, I think, it shows, of course, you can see these exact numbers by just going to the OTC markets. The website, you can go to our website and it'll show all the SEC listings. It'll show you what our revenue has been for each quarter. And so we're now at a fairly low number, which is why our focus now is moving forward with revenues. And that's where we're at right now. Okay, so I hope that answers. You can go to our website, WYTECintl.com, and that'll give you a lot of information on all of the press releases that have gone out. We just sent one out yesterday. That's the invitation to the seminar. The seminar is called Public Safety and Investor Seminar. So we put them both together because the focus is highly on revenues, of course, raising additional capital to see us through the cost of generating these revenues. So getting out there and getting our product out there. Okay, I believe that's it. So you can see the phone number at the bottom of this slide here, 888-284-4531. You can call that number, toll-free number, or you can email us at irwytec@wytecintl.com. Thank you very much for your meeting with me in this meeting here and this webcast, and I really appreciate your time. So that's it.